Networking internationally has been a really interesting experience for me. Canadians have a particular conversational style. We spend, 5 to 15 minutes at the beginning of any conversation, business or otherwise, where we just kind of, we shoot the shit. Hey, how you doing? How's the weather? We touch base and we just kind of connect and sort of, it's a subtle way of seeing what people's moods are like and testing out their conversational style and sort of getting a sense of who they are and whether there can be any meeting point just based on our personalities. And then, we'll sit down with the agenda, we'll go hard in, and then here and there we will break out. We will have little tangents that go off in this direction, little tangents that go off in this direction, and then you'll have people who make quips and sarcastic rejoinders and all that sort of stuff, and then we go back to the hardcore meeting details, and then we then finish with, light chatter and, what are you going to do and how's your day going and all that sort of stuff. And it's really interesting because as I'm contacting people in their second language and as I'm contacting people from very different cultures, I have learned a lot about myself, and I've learned a lot about what it is to be Canadian. And I've discovered that I like my conversational style. It suits me down to the ground, and I've also realized that it doesn't suit or resonate everyone else either. And it was really interesting because the cultures where in Europe you have various ethnicities living in these teeny tiny little countries, we're more likely to get my conversational style, whereas cultures where there's very little variation and they tend to be, one monoculture for the entire country, they didn't. They would respond to the sarcasm and to the humor either very directly, addressing the commentary behind it, or they wouldn't know what to do and they would ignore it. And this is including, the fact that these women were speaking to me in their second language. And we know what it is like. I mean, anyone in Canada who lives in any major urban center and has a lot of population that comes from various parts of the world, we know that when people are speaking in their second language, they don't have the subtlety of language that we do, so they tend to be a little bit more direct. They tend to leave out, a lot of the connecting concepts, and so this was taking all of that into account. So it was really interesting, and it was a great experience and great opportunity. It sucked when people didn't get me. That always sucks. But that's okay, I just won't talk to them again. What can you do? But I think, any time that you get a chance to go out and experience different parts of the world and meet people from different cultures, and you get to sort of see what you are like and what they're like, and you learn so much more about yourself. And I came back home appreciating who I am and appreciating that I am Canadian, and very glad to be one.